The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
Have been clear to whoever watches this channel how we feel about Chris Benoit and what he did to his family. But the one thing that continually comes up is the ridiculous statement that Kevin was involved in that thing. The question.
Listen,
wait, hold on. Give me one.
let
Let me just finish, and then it's all you.
Right.
And Mike,
Right.
I saw that today. I was reading comments from people on Facebook today.
Yeah.
They're still doing it, Mike. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
So my question is, Andrew, I'm sure if Monty and the Pharaoh are getting a kabillion Kevin did it responses, Kevin must have. How did Kevin, I'm sure he must have shared this with you, what was his feelings about this disgusting portray by the internet wrestling organization out there?
He no-sold it. He ignored it. He no-sold it. And it hurt Linda. It hurts Nicole. It hurts Bianca. And it hurt Kevin a lot that he would hear all this shit being put out. And right now, these fucking trolls, idiots, conspiracy theorists are trying to say that he still had something to do with it. And there's a Facebook page, a Kevin Sullivan Facebook page. Somebody put it up for Kevin in the early 2000s when Facebook first came out. They tried to do it to be helpful to Kevin, but these trolls have taken it over, and they're posting all this shit on it. There's nobody monitoring it, and these idiots are saying Kevin did it, this and that. I'm going to say once and for all for these fucking morons. The man was fucking married, happily married to Linda. The shit with Benoit happened years later. There was no fucking big conspiracy. Kevin had nothing to do with it. This is not whodunit like the Jimmy Snuka murder trial. This is nothing to do with that. It was obvious Chris Benoit was a fucking a nut job that killed his fucking family. You know, you're barking up the wrong tree. Find somebody else to fuck with because you guys are morons. All right? He was a sick man towards the end of his life. He had congestive heart failure. His heart filled with his body filled with fluid. He had sepsis. He had organ failure at the end. And, you know, these people are putting shit out there that he had something to do with the murders. It was nothing of the sort. He was so disgusted with the whole thing. You know, Nancy Benoit was a psychopath. You know, she was crazy. You know, she would do shit. I know she stabbed Kevin. She cut him. She threw things at him. She beat the shit out of him, and he would not fight back. Sometimes he would. Sometimes he wouldn't. Whatever that case was, they had a tumultuous relationship. But you know what? He never had nothing to do with that. That was over and done. It was water under the bridge. Benoit married her. That was Benoit's wife. What the fuck? Grow up, you fucking morons. Find somebody else to pick on. The man is dead, and now in death when he can't even defend himself. Not that he ever bothered to defend himself. He wouldn't fucking pay fucking mind to you idiots out there. You fucking assholes. Blind fucking morons. Find somebody else to fucking talk about. You know, it's just such fucking bullshit. It's just such fucking bullshit. And the other thing about Kevin being a devil worshiper, Kevin was a fucking Irish Catholic. He was a fucking altar boy. He was a fucking God-fearing Christian. All right. Okay. As a wrestler, we're all a little fucking twisted in our own way. But Kevin was the devil in a way, but he was a different kind of devil. When I say devil, he was a fucking funny little devil. He was a troublemaker sometimes. Kevin was a handful. Kevin was tough to deal with. But Kevin was no devil worshiper, man. No different than anybody else who puts on the eye makeup on. Alice Cooper, Kiss, The Undertaker, or anyone else who put fucking makeup under their eyes to look like a little bit dark. You know, come on, really. That's the case. The guy who played Voldemort for Harry Potter. Oh, he's Satan. He's Satan himself. You know, come on, give me a fucking break.
Andrew, it's fitting that perhaps one of the finest, if not the finest mind in the history of this business paid no mind to the mindless. Let's leave it at
take
that.
mine to it. He wouldn't sell it. He wouldn't sell it.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you one thing, that whole fucking situation, it hurt Kevin. It hurt Kevin. It hurt his career. And I got to tell you, I know Kevin for years. I know Kevin for a long time. I know him better than most people. And Kevin was driven into depression because of this. Kevin suffered from depression. Linda had to live with that. Linda and Nicole had to live with that. At times, I would have to feel it. I was getting yelled at. I was getting screamed at. And the depression was the fact that Kevin never got hired by a major company. He never got hired to do things. He wanted that last run. In a way, he got it with SWE Fury, because Tom and Jason Jarrett and the other partners over there, they really hooked him up, and they had a good thing going. But that dissolved. As you know, that didn't work out. And then there was CWF in Florida, and Kevin always had an open door policy with Nilio and the promoter, and he took care of Kevin a lot. And I want to thank Nilio. I can't thank him enough. Him and Gangrel, Gangrel runs the school, and he's partners with CCW and Bruce and all those guys down there. They all always made sure that Kevin had work, and Kevin contributed so much to them and came up with the angles, the story angles, the plot lines, and everything. And so that was sort of like Kevin's last run, and we wanted CWF to really take to the air. And a year ago, this past June, not this past June, the one before that, we did CCW TV tapings in Pompano Beach, Florida, and they were tremendous. They were some of the best stuff we've ever filmed and I've ever been involved with. And the production was incredible. Not only was I there, Karen was there. It was Blake, what's his name? Trooper Blake Troop, whatever was there.
He's been on the show. You could catch on the Monty and the Farrell.
Yeah, Blake was there. I'm trying to think who else. Brian Brock, the Crown, a lot of the CCW regulars, Cha Cha Charlie, Gangrel obviously won the CWF heavyweight title from Alex Chamberlain. It was all the product of Kevin. Bill Alfonso was involved. I had we had a tag team matches. We actually did me and Brian Brock had this amazing brawl like outside the parking lot that went all over the freaking building into the parking lot, and it was just incredible. And it was the atmosphere was great. It was like Florida was like Eddie Graham was watching down on us. You had pictures of Dusty Rhodes, Eddie Graham, and everyone. It was just such a fucking good vibe, and but it ran into some hiccups, and it's still not dead. It's still alive and still in production. We're gonna be working on it soon, hopefully. And now Kevin's picture will be up there looking down on everybody. And it's just like one of those things that Kevin always wanted to have that one last run. And was it jealousy? A lot of it was jealousy, because I think people were afraid that once Kevin's mind opened up and Kevin spoke, people wouldn't have jobs, because Kevin would have a job.
Yeah, but you know what, Andrew? To be fair, I thought Kevin and yourself actually were a little too nice. I mean, I'm not going to attack Hannibal on the channel, but allowing that nutcase into what you guys were trying to build screwed up a lot of stuff, right? And I know you're friends with the guy. I'm not asking you to trash. I'm just saying Kevin knew better,
He knows how I feel. That got us banned from Texas. That shit got us banned from Texas.
Right.
That got us banned from Texas. And to this day, Kevin and I would not get booked on anything in Texas. We still could not get booked. We got blacklisted in Texas, Kevin and I.
Mike, I'm starting to feel better about giving Kevin a hard time about Hannibal the last time he was in studio.
Yeah, no, Jimmy, and that conversation, you were.
I mean, Andrew, we say what it's like. You know what I mean? And you were
100% right on that when you brought that up to Kevin, right? Because again, I'll call him a nutcase because he's a nutcase. You letting that guy into your organization, I don't know what you're doing. It was a huge mistake. But anyway, I don't want to make this about Hannibal. This is a tribute to Kevin, right? Go ahead, Jimmy. You're on.
Absolutely.
You're on.